several things. We've hosted some conferences here in terms of the Women in the Mountains program, and also we participated internationally in the mountain conferences that were held recently in Turkey with the United Nations, and so our faculty and students have participated in these events around the world. But also locally, we have several student clubs that have been generated out of this and interested in these sorts of issues. We've had a pretty successful student essay contest going on around issues related to the mountains around the world that have been very successful. We've had students involved in doing research and are just in the process of publishing some of that student and faculty research into a book that will be made available. And so at all levels, from faculty, students, locally and internationally, we've really had a lot of opportunities to bring those issues right here home on campus.
Well, I've been excited over the last several years as dean to be involved and be able to support our efforts at sustainable mountain development. I've been very excited to see the energy and the enthusiasm that our faculty and staff and students bring to the issue, and see the increasing notoriety that UVU has been able to attain through its efforts.
In this last year, and so I'll hold up the Youth in the Mountains, the student essay contest that was held, and then that publication. I think getting an opportunity for our students to actually publish something, to take the opportunity to go through the process of actually having to write something up that then is distributed to a larger community is perhaps one of the most beneficial things that we've got going in the last year, and primarily because it has the opportunity to carry into the future. So this is volume 1, and hopefully we're sitting here in 10 years talking about volume 10 as our students continue to do this, as it reaches down into the high school level, so it reaches into a younger crowd that might spur some interest there and give them some thoughts on what they might want to major in or do as they come into a university setting as well.
Utah Valley University has made a number of efforts to be involved in sustainable development in mountainous areas. This effort has been led by Professor Abedizdrayev, who's from Kyrgyzstan, so he brings a personal interest in it and a set of resources. So we've started a student club, and we bring people here. We obviously have the Women of the Mountains conferences, and Beck and I were in Kyrgyzstan with a couple of students just about a year ago, and while there we were participants in several conferences. All of them we helped, in fact, organize, and what I've been doing is creating a database, the Sustainable Mountain Development and Conflict Transformation Global Database. It's a mouthful. I haven't found a better acronym for it yet. But I'm trying to create what will be the world's premier database for all matters related to sustainable development and conflict transformation in parts of the world that are related to, importantly, mountainous regions, or are mountainous regions, involving mountainous peoples and their particular issues.
Well, for me, one of the most important things in 2013 was the high school essay competition that was held in March. Every year since 2011, we've had these competitions available to students along the Wasatch Front. And each year, the theme is based on the United Nations declaration of the theme for the year. In 2013, that was water cooperation. And so we sent out a call for papers on the theme of water cooperation. Students submitted their papers to a UVU committee. Those papers were narrowed down to a set of finalists who were invited to a workshop on campus in March. And the high schoolers presented their papers with PowerPoint presentations usually. And then the top 3 prize winners were determined. And it was a wonderful event of students doing research, presenting their findings, both in writing and orally, and then being recognized by an institution of higher learning, UVU. And the top 3 received cash prizes too, which I'm sure they welcomed. So that was an important event in the past year. We hope next spring to duplicate, in fact, better ourselves by having a higher level of participation, more students representing more high schools along the Wasatch Front.
I'd like to see just more participation, more involvement from the community, because the people here doing this are great models, as I said, for what could be done. I think getting more people aware of these issues and the connections between Orem and Utah Valley and international organizations, lots of NGOs working on environmental issues, on mountain issues, on climate issues, on women's issues, that these can all work together. And really it's more awareness of not from these people, but of what these people are doing, and the really international recognition that the people in the Utah Valley University International Sustainable Mountain Development and International Mountain Forum groups are doing, that they're really recognized around the world, and more people could participate. It's great for education. It's great for their future careers. There's going to be more connections around Utah with the Wasatch campus and beyond. So it's really spectacular, and I just think it's got to become more visible, so that more people can benefit from participating and from the inspiration.
We need to acknowledge that all of those efforts and activities of UVU will be extremely valuable and important if we'll continue to work with our partners from the Rocky Mountains. And here we have great support from our colleagues in Aspen, Wyoming, and Washington, D.C. And in order for us to sustain those programs and initiatives, and in general make a change in the lives of the mountain communities, both in the Rocky Mountains and around the globe, we need to work jointly. So that's why it's important that now, during this December celebration of International Mountain Day, we are gathering here so many people from all of the corners of the North America. And we need to continue to work that in the future. And students, if will be also contributing to that process, then will be more success, and will be certain changes taking place in a practical way.
Well, I think it goes back to the combination of making visible the situations of the people of the mountains. And part of that is not only that they are poor and exploited, but it is that there's a kind of dignity and cultural richness that's present among people of the mountains. And so I think it's important to become more active in making that visible and the public aware, and then pursuing the idea of empowerment. And for me, a big part of that is making certain that that happens in Latin America, and especially in Mexico.